Hello everybody, it is Badge Wild and we are back with another Space Engineers ship review video. This time reviewing a rover. This one I've built, I've put up on the web, on the workshop. It's been up for most of the week and thought I would do a simple review of it because I kind of did something a little different and a little nifty. What you guys can see right here is the Desert Ranger hover truck. And yeah, it's very small. It's very down to the ground. It is kind of like a combination between a Luke Skywalker sand speeder, or his little speeder car from Star Wars, and an El Camino or Cadillac. And it's really cool. You can look down here. You can see where the thrusters are at. We've got 4 in the front, 4 on each side, and 4 on the back. Also got, I believe, 6 nuclear reactors and a ton of batteries, seating for up to 6, and really just kind of try to build the most compact, nice, futuristic-looking hovercraft I could possibly build. Just sort of as a concept. This is really not a combat vehicle, as it is more of probably like a utility truck. Like you could throw a cargo container in the back. You could put your buddies in the back. You can drive around with it. And it drives really good. So, enough jabbering. Let's hop in this thing and check it out. So, looking at this thing, number 1, we've got the lights. That's what that activates. Number 3 activates your nuclear reactors, which can, while I'm at it, all be operated from here. You can literally just hop into this and you can set... You can have access to all of your reactors. You can fill them up. Just from here, from this ejector, you can throw your uranium in there and power it up. And then we've also got number 5, which is the batteries. You turn it off entirely. You hear everything kind of like shut down, which is really cool. When you turn it on, it sounds like something just really powering up and sounding really good. I love the sounds off this thing when it turns on and off. It's amazing. But anyway, to show you guys how this thing works, so what am I doing here for those who don't understand what's happening? So you see the tires on the bottom here. These are the small 1-block wheels for the small ship, and you can do this with any wheel in Space Engineers, which is you set them upside down or set them on their side, and then you go into the wheels, turn off all this stuff, set your strength to max and your friction to nothing, and then this thing just glides around, and all you need is thrusters to make it work. The advantage of this is you don't need downward and upward thrusters, so you can eliminate about 2 of the 6 directions you need for thrust and create something that will reach pretty good speeds. And holy crap, does it reach incredible speeds. Not, and what should be something cheating is actually more of a feature now. So let me get this thing in the right so it looks really good right here. Just imagine your buddies in the back. I should have done the mod with the extra with the like the extra helpers or whatnot. But let's just see this thing just drive. Now, the interesting thing about this is it is not a vehicle you can go ham with. If you go crazy, you will crash it. But you can see the speeds I can achieve on flat ground are far superior with just a few presses of a button. This thing can achieve almost maximum speed, and you can. It gets a little freaky when you get to max speed. As far as how does this work with heavier terrain, you'll find out here in a minute. Like I said, as long as you're landing flat down, the problem is when you land really hard with this, it will damage the bottom engines. Like I said, it's more of a concept than an actual utility vehicle. If I was building something with more utility, I'd put a little bit more strength into it. But as you can see here, because gravity is still affecting it and everything else, this thing will just putter along here, hit the thrust, and it just takes off. You can see just how fast we're getting. It sounds great as it's going through here. It sounds like an old Cadillac or something driving across the deal. And it's kind of why I put kind of the rusty look on it. As far as difficult terrain, however, you just have to slow it down and just kind of take your time. We'll go over here where all these hills and stuff are. You just drive it up here. Can this be used in survival? Yes. I can literally tell you right now, if you were to take this thing, give it the proper settings to the wheels, you can take this and put it in your survival campaign and use it. It can be used for that. Now, what happens when it fails? It fails pretty spectacularly when it does. So it's kind of like the edge of a knife. But it is a great little concept of what you can do with hover cars. And my thing about this was, everyone that builds hover vehicles, they always made them really bulky looking. There was very little sleekness to it. And that was my thing about building this. I wanted to make something kind of sleek looking, you know, and just look like something you would take your girl out on a nice little date to the movies with. Because, you know, you had all those popular science magazines back in the day. But yeah, like I said, it's got seating for 6. You can put 6 of your buddies in this thing, drive it around. Put bigger wheels on it if you want. You'll probably have to cut some stuff off just to make it a little bit easier. I may make a military version of it. You can see how this thing just spins and goes. It handles terrain very well when used properly. And that's the thing. You've got to drive it. It takes a bit of skill. Not like major skill. It just takes some caution driving over rough terrain, because... and I'll show you here in a minute. If you just max out the speed on it and just go ham, it can handle terrain, but when you hit these bigger impacts, because the wheels will sink down on the ground, it has a tendency to damage things on the vehicle. So you kind of have to you take your time with it, but there's enough speed, and you see the voxels have kind of, you see back there the voxels have pushed down enough to where it's kind of interfering with the rest of it. Let's just hop out here, and I can show you what this thing looks like in the workshop. So it's right here. It's just a Desert Ranger hover truck. I haven't done anything really to it yet as of now, but like I said, it is just, it's a quick, and it's kind of cheap too. It is heavy armor because I want it to be as tough as possible. So you get shot at, it's not going to turn into just little chunks. It's not going to turn to Swiss cheese when it gets shot. So this thing will actually work. And you can see it from the front end here. It's a fun little car to drive. If y'all want to get on the line, check it out. Go ahead and make your own versions. Recolor it. Put your own paint schemes on it. I don't care. Maybe spam it to Jack RPG. Let's see if he'll do a review on it. I don't know. But yeah, this thing just drives. It skims over the desert and does a good job. Like I said, you've got to watch the terrain. Maximum speed on desert terrain, I'd say somewhere between 75 and 85 meters per second. Over rough terrain, you probably don't want to go over 20. And it's got the thrust to push itself up a hill. I mean, if I were to turn this thing up right, it would probably fly off. So it's not something you could take onto a no thruster server, because it needs thrusters to push itself like this. But it is a really cool looking car when you get to driving it, and it just looks nice. It looks like I said, it looks like one of those old 1960s popular science magazine concepts where it's like, look, the future is now. We will have hover cars in the year 2020, and turns out we all still don't even have a basic hover. Well, we got hoverboards, but we don't have basic jetpacks yet. Anyway, future is now in space engineers. For all of us who want to engineer some fun stuff and share it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this little video and this little demonstration of this concept. As always, I am Badger Wild, saying stay safe, stay frosty, and I am signing out.